Panthers trade a veteran receiver. Bengals find a way to keep a star defensive player. Washington keeps its number one receiver. And Raiders sign a former receiver. And more NFL news. Adam Thielen was traded to the Vikings, his former team. The Panthers got a 2026 fifth round pick and a 2027 fourth rounder, while the Vikings get Thielen, a 2026 conditional seventh rounder, and a 2027 fifth rounder, according to an article by NFL.com. Thielen only played 10 games last year, but still managed to get 615 yards off of 48 catches and 62 targets and 5 touchdowns, according to ProFootballReference.com. In 2023, though, story was a little bit different. He reached 1,014 yards, catching 103 passes from 137 targets and 4 touchdowns. He can get yards, but doesn't score touchdowns a lot. The last time he scored double-digit touchdowns was when he was with the Vikings the first time in 2020 and 2021, getting 14 and 10 touchdowns. The Vikings already have a lot of receivers and young receivers. Thielen is a veteran who can help them, and second-year quarterback J.J. McCarthy. And their defense was good last year. Will it be good this year? And can the Vikings repeat the success they had last year this year with a different person at quarterback? Now on to the defensive side of the ball. A team made a smart move and kept their defense intact. The Cincinnati Bengals keep defensive star player Trey Hendrickson. I think the Bengals can be good, at least offensively. I thought defensively they can as well, and I saw an article or heard broadcasters say their defense is bad, but their defense, I don't know then. Looking up the depth chart on ESPN.com, they do have household names like B.J. Hill to help stop the run, Cam Taylor-Britt at cornerback, and Logan Wilson. I don't know if he is a household name, but I think I've heard his name the last few years. I did not know Hendrickson had 17 and a half sacks the last 2 seasons. That's crazy. Can he do it again or even beat his record this year? We all know he can get to the quarterback, stop the run and pass, but can offenses stop him? According to the article from NFL.com, he got a $14 million raise with his adjusted meaning his salary for this season will be $20 million. So what I think I was trying to say was he had a $14 million raise according to the NFL.com article. And with his adjusted contract, salary for this season will be $30 million. Now, the Raiders are another team making moves. Who would have thought the Raiders would be making moves? And they're bringing in a familiar face and wide receiver Amari Cooper. They boost their offense after losing their backup quarterback to an injury. They could have had one of their 2 rookie quarterbacks they drafted be a backup, even though one was moving to receiver. But instead, they traded for quarterback Kenny Pickett from the Browns to be the backup right now. This gives Las Vegas another backup, as I mentioned, since Aiden O'Connell got injured. The Raiders' offense has a mix of young players and veteran players. For example, quarterback Geno Smith, rookie running back Ashton Genty, Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers, Amari Cooper, and more. Even on the defensive side of the ball, notable players like Jamal Adams and Max Crosby. Also, I believe I saw something where Myers requested a trade, but I'm not sure if the Raiders want to trade him. He should stay with the Raiders, so we'll see how that works out this year at receiver. And now this team, I keep saying can win the Super Bowl with the moves they've been making. And of course, if they stay healthy. Well, guess what? Redskins and wide receiver Terry McLaurin come to terms on a contract which is 3 years and up to $96 million. Now that they keep him, I do believe they can make and win the Super Bowl. I've been saying that, and I still believe it. Of course, as long as they stay healthy, as mentioned previously. Even with them trading away one of their running backs, they do have a quarterback, 2 running backs, receiving corps, and on defense, a mix of young and veteran players, which helps. For the AFC team to make the Super Bowl, I don't know what team of healthy can make it yet. I want to say the Bengals, but I'm not sure. Even the Chiefs have been making some moves this summer. Some of these names I don't know if I'm going to be saying right, so please forgive me. We'll find out afterwards because I did not check see how to say them. So yeah. Jets defensive tackle Derek Inati heads to the Chiefs. Later in the show, I will share who else New York got to help fill the gaps. I don't know much about Derek, other than he has played for 7 years and has 109 solo tackles and 124 assisted tackles with 8 quarterback hits and 5 sacks. I don't feel like that's a lot. Jets defense on the front lines is improving, but what about the rest? Then the Super Bowl champs got another quarterback who can be a backup or quarterback number 3 and even a starter. Sam Howell, quarterback, goes to the Philadelphia Eagles, which doesn't help Minnesota. But Minnesota did sign a quarterback after Howell went to the Eagles, or got traded to the Eagles. The Eagles also got a 2026 6th-round pick. Howell can be a starter with the right team. He was with the Redskins in his 2nd season, and he will be going into his 4th now. Before Washington got Jaden Daniels, Howell had a good season, showing he could be the starter for the team. He played all 17 games. The Redskins' record wasn't that great at 4-13, and Howell didn't do his best, throwing the same amount of touchdowns as interceptions at 21. But the amount of yards he threw was a good amount, 3,946 yards. And he completed 388 passes out of 612. This was before they had Austin Eckler. To be a starter, I still think he can. He just needs to work on his interceptions. Could we dare say it was even they didn't have some offensive linemen, and now they do? Or not? Andrew Wiley and Sam Cosmi are the only 2 linemen from that year that I noticed, starters, that are still here. And now they added Laramie Tunzel for Daniels. Blindside. What could have Hal done? We will never know. Then for the Vikings on this side of the trade, they got their backup quarterback and Carson Wentz to help out 2nd-year J.J. McCarthy after he missed his rookie season due to injury. We all know what Wentz can do as a starter, and he is closer to where he played college football at North Dakota State University by being in Minnesota. Heading down to the NFC South, Michael Penix Jr., blindside offensive lineman, is injured, and so how will this affect the offense? The good news is Penix can be a mobile quarterback and a pocket passer. Right tackle Caleb McGarry, according to NFL.com, will miss time with injury. In that same article, he just signed an extension, and they say he has started 92 of 93 games, so a very reliable player. Remember how I mentioned earlier Washington got rid of one of their running backs and they've been making moves? Well, now on to that. They made another move. The Redskins traded running back Brian Robinson Jr. to the San Francisco 49ers. This is good for the 49ers and their offense because it just got better, even though they should be making moves on defense. Honestly, if the 49ers have a good season, like a winning record, I'd be surprised. Stay tuned, as before this, they even got a receiver. Talking about the 49ers. Now, a 2026 sixth-round pick is what the Redskins got after trading Robinson Jr. He will be the number 2 running back behind Christian McCaffrey, which pushes backup Isaac Guerendo to the 3rd running back on the depth chart. They already have McCaffrey, which we know what he can do, and he's coming back from injury last season. Brian Robinson Jr., in his short 3-year career, has 2,329 yards off of 570 attempts and 15 touchdowns in the rushing department. Then in the passing department, he has 65 catches on 80 targets, which is pretty efficient. And he has 587 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. Not bad, and we already know McCaffrey. We know he's shifty running, and he can catch out of the backfield as well. And then these stats should show Robertson Jr. can do the same thing. So they need a receiver, so maybe they use their running backs as receivers. Along with receivers, will they put one running back in the back, both in the back, one in the back, one on the line of scrimmage as a receiver with 2 other receivers? Or one other receiver? What will they do along with George Kittle, tight end? Who knows? Panthers veteran tackle signs extension, which will help Bryce Young by protecting him. And I believe it's Taylor Moton, and it's for $44 million. Now, let's go down to a different team in the NFC South. The Saints get another receiver with a trade from the Broncos. Forgive me if I say his name wrong. He's a young player in his 2nd year. Devon Vele was traded to the Saints, and the Broncos got a 2026 4th-round pick and 2027 7th-round pick, or choice. The Saints have a really good defense, even with Honey Badger Tyrann Mathieu retiring. Vele adds depth to the receiving core. The only problem is they need a quarterback who can make plays consistently. We all know they've been looking for a quarterback since Derek Carr retired. At wide receiver, they have Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, and Brandon Cooks. Those would be their starters, 1, 2, 3. Then you have Devon Vele, Cedric Wilson Jr., and Mason Tipton, backup receivers. But could find themselves in the rotation. If Spencer Rattler ends up being the starter, which Kellen Moore did name him the starter, he can do something. Maybe the Saints have a chance to have a good season, like a winning record, but I still see them as the worst team in the league, and that was before I double-checked their depth chart. I didn't realize the talent they have on this team. For defense, they have Justin Reed, Julian Blackmon, Demario Douglas, Pete Werner, Carl Granderson, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Cameron Jordan, Chase Young, and Devon Gacho. I feel like their defense can be unstoppable. It's just, what can their offense do? We know Olave is quick and has hands. Shaheed is also quick. I know I didn't really get to see him. I think I saw him maybe, now I think about it, one play. So maybe I didn't see him. And maybe I will find out if he is quick. And I'd say we'll find out if he's shifty. Oh, well, sorry. Olave knows he has hands. Shaheed, yes. We'd say he's quick and shifty. And we all know what veteran Brandon Cooks can do. Spencer Rattler, as I mentioned, is the starting quarterback. I think this is the smarter choice between the two quarterbacks, him and rookie Tyler Shook. Can Rattler step it up with this year and rattle the Saints season in a good way? And prove me wrong? He has the weapons around him. And the Saints also released running back Cam Akers. They should have kept him, in my opinion, for the running back room. I'm not sure where he will go, but I do think there are a few teams that can use him. Like the Titans, especially now, even though they have Pollard and Spears. Or even the Chargers, if Najee Harris is out for a while. Maybe he heads back to the Vikings again? Or back up Josh Jacobs in Green Bay? What about the Cardinals being the 3 running back behind Benson, or even fighting Trey Benson for the number 2 running back? Going to the West Coast, the 49ers made a move for receiver. Sky Moore, in a 2027 7th round pick, head to the 49ers, and the Chiefs, in return, got a 2027 6th round draft choice. Getting Moore will help them, as some of their receivers are either out for a while or suspended. Their number 3 receiver, Ricky Pearsall, most likely will become the number 1 receiver the first few weeks of the season, meaning Sky Moore will be the number 2 receiver, and their backups, one of them will be the 3 receiver, unless they just go with a 2 receiver set. And I saw this on ESPN for the 49ers depth chart. The New York Jets, they trade for Vikings defensive tackle Harrison Phillips. I don't know much about the guy, other than his career stats I looked up. He has been in the league for 7 years. He is not too old and not too young. The Jets have 2 star defensive players, but other than that, no other household names for me. Phillips may not be a household name to me, but he will help the defense because the Jets need all the help they can get. Phillips has had 48 solo tackles, 166 assisted tackles, 15 tackles for lost, 30 quarterback hits, and 8 sacks. He should be able to help the Jets stuff the gaps, making it harder for teams to run the ball. This trade gives the Vikings a 2026 6th round pick and 2027 7th round selection. In the NBA, Bucks get a young player and Pacers keep a coach. Amir Coffey, shooting guard small forward, signs with the Milwaukee Bucks. He's only been in the league in the NBA for 6 years, going on 7. In those 6 years, he played for the Clippers. The last 2 seasons, he played the most games at 70 and 72. Last season, he averaged 3.4 three-pointers per game and 9.7 points per game. The Bucks lost their point guard in Damian Lillard, who returned home to Portland and is rehabbing an injury, and they lost Brook Lopez at center, but they did sign Miles Turner from Indiana. Now, Turner may have left Indiana, but the Pacers did keep their coach, who helped lead the team to the Eastern Conference Finals and the Finals. Pacers and coach Rick Carlisle come to agreement on a contract extension, according to an article from NBA.com. Carlisle led the team, as I mentioned, to the ECF, Eastern Conference Finals, and the Finals, before losing to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They also lost point guard Tyrese Halliburton to an injury. They lost center Miles Turner, as mentioned earlier. How will Carlisle do with the team this year with most of the same players, other than having a different big man, and for their point guard, having a backup point guard, most likely be the starter, and starting shooting guard also probably playing point guard. Honorable mention for this show that also came out today is safety Kyle Hamilton of the Ravens signs extension, making him the highest paid, according to an article from NFL.com. Highest paid safety, not highest paid. Comment below what you would like to hear next, what your thought of this episode is, or something else. Don't forget to subscribe on Spotify and YouTube. Follow on Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode, where I will share my rankings before the season starts and see where your team lands next week.